Yes, of course. Oh, very good. I'm glad the board saw it my way. Yes, I'll put it into effect right away. Immediately. Oh, I suggest that the announcement be departmentalized and sent in triplicate to division heads for intermemo. That's right, within the hour. Very good. Very, very good. Now, Miss Harrington, the board has okayed my retirement plan. Everybody 65 or over is through. Out. Well, now maybe we can get some production action around here. Really make a blazing score for ourselves. No more dead wood to bottleneck. Oh, now, just a minute, Miss Harrington. I don't want you to get the idea that I'm pulling an Ebenezer Scrooge or something like that. This company has an outstanding pension plan and the top-ranking profit-sharing apparatus for all employees, whether retired or not. Nobody's going to be hurt. Well, that's better. Now, let's see. Who's our #1 target for the winter in Florida route? Get me Tom Carey.
And I'll expect another big order from you, you big galoot, the next time I'm up around the Twin Cities. That'll be about the time the ducks are flying. Until then, as always, best wishes, cordially yours, signed Tom Carey. Now, where's that Eastern Outfits letter?
Mr. Carey's office. It's Mr. Delsing.
Is Delsing on the phone?
Is Carey on the phone? We'll wait.
Mr. Carey's ready for Mr. Delsing.
Then put him on, please. Mr. Delsing wishes to talk to him.
Is he on yet? Hello?
Just a moment, Mr. Carey. Here's Mr. Delsing.
Hello?
Just a moment, Mr. Delsing. Here's Mr. Carey.
I thought you told me Carey was on the phone.
He said hello.
Well, how can he say hello and then... good morning, Carey, and how are you this morning?
Fine, very fine, Mr. Delsing. And very busy.
Yes, of course. Well, there's a little matter I'd like to discuss with you at your earliest possible convenience.
Well, now let me see.
Right now.
I see.
I'll expect you in a moment, then?
I'll be there. That retirement plan must have gone through. He's as chipper as an executioner with a brand new axe.
Yes, Miss Harrington.
Mr. Carey is here.
In a moment. You can send Carey in now.
It's a funny thing.
In a moment, Carey.
It's strange, the things I've picked up traveling around as a salesman. You know, I can actually read upside down.
Well, I guess I can finish this a little later.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Now then.
Your retirement plan go through?
It did.
Good. Good pensions, no more living by the alarm clock. Just smack golf balls from Key West to Miami Beach and then back again.
Precisely.
Fellas as old as Doc Hobinson and Freddie Hutchins and Mike Terry ought to have quit long before now. They should just head for Florida and let some of you young chaps wear yourselves out.
Well, aren't you going with them?
Me? Sit in the sunshine? What do you take me for, an orange?
Well, what I mean is... how old are you, Carey?
I'm 62, Mr. Delsing.
I checked the records this morning, and you started with this company 46 years ago. Now, how old were you when you started?
Just a shaver. Oh, it's big for my age. I might have even lied about it then. They didn't keep such good records in those days. Fella could get a job without having to fill out 6 pages of pedigree.
Well, I disagree with you about that, but that's beside the point.
I don't say it's better then. It's better now in some ways.
But we like to keep records now, Mr. Carey. And just for the record, I want you to bring in your birth certificate tomorrow morning.
I haven't got one.
What do you mean you haven't got one? Everybody has one.
I was born in a little town upstate. 30 years ago, the city hall burnt to the ground. All the records were destroyed. Mighty hard to prove a man's age, especially an old gink like me. Now, if I was a horse, all you'd have to do is look at my teeth. But if you should look at my teeth, you'd swear I was a boy of 20. That's how old my teeth are. Well, it's mighty nice of you to call me in, Mr. Delsing, and tell me about your retirement plan. Make a lot of folks happy around here. Well, I don't suppose there's anything else you want to see me about. Gives a fella a nice, warm feeling. 3 more years. 3 more years I'll be around here, and then... and then 23 skidoo. And watch my dust.
Miss Harrington,
Yes, Mr. Delsing?
get Doc Harbison on the phone. Tell him I want to see him immediately.
Is everything all right, Mr. Carey?
Oh, sure. Everything's fine. He just wanted to know how old I was. I believe it came out 62.
Good.
Take a letter, Miss Wilson. No, wait a minute. Get Miss Nichols on the phone. Hold on. It may be tapped.
You're as tense as a banjo string. Since I'm being retired, well, maybe you listen to the new doctor.
Oh, I listen to you, Doc.
I wish you could listen to this.
I sure envy you fellas, Doc. Heading for the sun. Too bad Tom Carey isn't going with you.
Who says he isn't going?
Oh, he does. After all, he isn't eligible for retirement. He's only 62.
62? Why, he's pushing 70, or I'm a horse doctor.
That's all I want to know. Will you give me an affidavit to that effect?
Well, now, wait a minute. He say he was 62?
He's lying.
Well, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I've advised him to quit, but Tom's stubborn. You fire him, he's liable to get a night watchman's job and work himself to death.
Well, will you give me that affidavit?
Well, I have to think about it.
You do that, Doc. And just remember, your way, he gets retired. My way, he gets fired. What's the name of the woman in charge of the records at personnel?
Miss Nichols.
Get me Miss Nichols on the phone right away.
You're behind 2 appointments already, Mr. Delsing. Should I
Never mind, cancel those appointments. Just get me Miss Nichols right away.
Yes, Mr. Delsing.
Why must I be driven crazy like this?
Mr. Delsing is calling Miss Nichols.
Is she already on? Oh, never mind. Give me that phone. This is Mr. Delsing, Miss Nichols. Now, I want one answer from you and one answer only.
62. Of course, we have no definite records, you understand.
Well, what about his Social Security? That must be on file in the state capitol.
I shall be very happy to write to them.
Write to them? I'll have to fill out 37 forms in quadruplicate. It'll take us a year and a half to find out that which I know already. Isn't there something you can suggest that would be more expeditious?
Yes, I can. Why don't you just ask Mr. Carey?
Lunch today, Miss Nichols?
Oh, I'd love it.
See you at noontime, then.
I'll be waiting.
Mr. Delsing's office. Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir.
I'm not in.
It's the chairman of the board.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Good morning, Mr. Hendrickson. And how are you today, sir?
Just fine, Delsing. What has been the reaction to the retirement plan?
Well, as I predicted, sir, it was received very happily.
How did Tom Carey take the news?
Well, he didn't like it, sir. He says he's only 62. I beg your pardon?
If you can persuade him to quit, that's fine. But you're not to fire him.
But I know he's 65.
Well, you're top man down there now. Prove he's 65.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, sir. Prove it. I'm a detective who has to go around. No, wait a minute. Maybe I won't have to prove it. Miss Harrington, get me the smallest office and the dumbest secretary you can find.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Better yet, find me a painter. A very slow painter. Painters never fail.
Yes, Mr. Delsing.
Will you please tell me what you're doing up there?
What's that?
I said, will you kindly explain to me what you're doing up there?
Painting. What do you think I'm doing?
I know you're painting, but why are you painting?
Well, I'll tell you.
Watch it.
Sorry. As I was saying, I can't do any work in this office till the painters get through, so I thought I'd pitch in and help them.
Will you please come down from there? Do you think this company can afford to pay department heads executive salaries to spend their time helping painters?
George, go over this again, will you? And watch that spot in the corner there.
Please.
Well, where am I going to work?
I have an office for you. Just come down. It's a very nice office.
You like some more pop, Mitzi?
I'm fine.
Good. No, don't put it away. Read it out loud to me.
Well, everything satisfactory?
Great. She can't spell and she can't type. So I'm having her read movie magazines to me. She wants to be a movie star.
Well, if you'll excuse me.
No, don't go. Read us about the guy you're stuck on, Mitzi. He makes $100,000 a year, but he's a regular Joe, and he likes the simple life with his 14-room house and his swimming pool. He's 26 years old, he is. Now, I'm 60. I'm 62, with no swimming pool and an office you couldn't even take a shower in.
Well, of course, you could always resign if you find things unpleasant. With your pension...
No, I'm not resigning. She is. I'm staking her to a trip to California.
Isn't he sweet?
Oh, by the way, I saw a new girl in the plant this morning. Just built for this office. Straight up and down like a slat. 38 inches tall. A midget. Do you mind if I requisition her?
Do anything you want to do.
You better get Meech's autograph before you go, Mr. Delsing. It'll be worth a lot of money in a few years.
Looks a little like Van Johnson, doesn't he?
Yes, very little. You've got everybody typed, haven't you, Meechie?
Find out what town upstate Tom Carey was born in and get me a reservation.
Plane or train?
I don't care if I go by pogo stick. Just get me there.
Yes, Mr. Delsing.
It's so nice to get away from the hurly-burly of business, Miss Carey.
Oh, I'm sure it is, Mr.
Delsing.
Yes. Now, tell me more about this party for Tom.
Oh, well, it's to be a surprise party. For his birthday. Do you happen to know when that is?
Why, yes, it's next month.
Oh, good. Fine. That's wonderful. Oh, tell me, Miss Carey, are you Tom's older sister or younger sister?
Well, Tom is a few years older than I am.
Good. Oh, well, what I mean is, I didn't actually mean good.
Wouldn't you like another cup of tea?
Oh, no, thank you very much, Miss Carey. You say that Tom is a few years older than you, Miss Carey. Well, what I mean is, well, would you mind telling me...
I'm 59. Now, there is something here that I think you might enjoy looking at, Mr. Delsing. The family album.
Oh, yes.
There's a picture of Tom. Wasn't he cute looking?
Adorable.
That was Tom.
How old was he then?
Let's see. He was 8.
He was kind of cute.
Yes. Now, you just browse through the album while I get some more hot water.
1894. Wait a minute. 8 years old, 1894? Ooh, delicious.
Are you enjoying the album, Mr. Delta?
Oh, yes, Miss Carey. I've never enjoyed an album quite so much.
I must apologize for the delay in shipment. But I assure you it won't happen again. Can you lift it?
Mr. Carey's office. One moment, please. Mr. Delsing wants to talk to you.
Is he on the phone?
Yes.
Hello?
May I see you, Mr. Carey? You may either come to my office, or I should be most happy to go to yours.
Well, there's no room in here. I better go to your office. Oh, is it important?
I think so.
I'll be there.
Good.
Your 10 o'clock appointment is waiting, Mr. Delsing.
Let him wait.
Oh, would you like some paper to write on while he enters the office?
Not today, Miss Harrington. Not today. I understand, Mr. Carey, that you've been spreading a little propaganda about the plant, that the small office is another stroke of Delsing genius. That since the office is too small for you to even take a watch out of your pocket and tell the time...
What'd you expect me to do, Delsing? Take it without a battle? I've been through a couple of 3 depressions, a few wars, and a lot of crises. I fight fire with fire, and sometimes with a little ridicule thrown in. It would take a dummy not to know what you're trying to do. You want me to resign.
I wanted you to resign.
No more?
Isn't necessary. It's all automatic now, company policy. There are the pension forms, Mr. Carey. Fill them out at your leisure. And from then on, there'll be a monthly check for you. 2 monthly checks, as a matter of fact. The company check and your profit-sharing check. This is a good company, Mr. Carey, and we like to take good care of our employees.
Well, isn't this all a bit premature?
I think not. That is a photograph of you, Mr. Carey, when you were 8 years old. Date on the back of the photograph, 1894. Sum total of simple arithmetic. You are 68 years old. Yes?
Mr. Delsing, Miss Amy to see you.
I don't know any Miss Amy.
Oh, Miss Amy Carey.
Miss Amy Carey? Oh, yes, Miss Amy Carey. Send her in. Well, how nice to see you again, Miss Carey.
Nice to see you, Mr. Delsing. You know, I've been so worried about that surprise party that you're going to give for Tom.
Well, you see, Miss Carey.
I haven't slept a wink since you left. See, I got to thinking about that picture of Tom, and after you went away, I looked for it high and low.
Well, I'm afraid I have your picture, Miss Carey.
Oh.
You see, inadvertently, it wound up in my pocket. If you had just written to me, I would have been only too happy to have mailed it to you.
Oh, good gracious, Mr. Delsing, you can keep the picture. It wasn't the picture that I wanted. I just got so bothered about that surprise party giving for Tom and what I told you about the picture that was wrong. Now, let me see. Which one did I say was Tom?
Why? This little fellow right here.
Dear me. Oh, I declare I must be getting on, or else it's the light in that back parlor of mine. Because, you see, that's Luke.
Who?
Luke. That's not Tom. It's Luke. This one up here is Tom.
Oh, well, now, just a minute, Miss Carey. That little boy there in the sailor's suit, that certainly looks like Tom Carey. That nose and those big ears.
Oh, all the men in the family have them. The Crowder nose and the Carey ears, all of them. No, that's Luke. Fell off a barn roof 20 years ago. Lord rest him.
That sweet-faced, tiny little baby there certainly doesn't look like Tom Carey.
Naturally, you'd expect a body to change in 60 years, wouldn't you say? Now, when you give this surprise party, I know how sensitive Tom is, and I know you wouldn't want to offend him. You know, some people get mighty persnickety when they get to be 62. Land sakes, it's bad enough when you are 62. You don't want to be called 68.
Yes, I suppose not.
Well, I can sleep better now. It's awfully nice seeing you again, Mr. Delsing.
Oh, goodbye, Miss Carey. Oh, Miss Harrington.
Yes, Mr. Delsing.
Come in here, please, and bring your notebook. Let's turn some status back to quo.
With a little extra for your train fare.
Where are those pension papers? This office is yours for life.
Well, I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life here.
Just till you're 65? Uh-huh. Well, don't let me interrupt your work, Tom. Got to keep the ball rolling.
Let's see, where was I?
I hope you had a safe trip home, Amy. I enclosed the usual monthly check with a little extra this time to pay for your train fare.
As I told you, Amy, I'm thinking of retiring, but not just yet a while. In another year, those annuities will be paid up, and with my pension and with you keeping house for me down in Florida, everything will be perfect. Love and kisses, Tom. Now, let's get some work done, Miss Wilson. There's been enough foolery around this office. Where's that letter for Finney and Son? Oh, wait a minute. Hold everything. Put a postscript on that letter to Amy. Give my apologies to our sister Kate when you write her. It's a terrible thing for a beautiful woman like Kate to be mistaken for an old buzzard like me, especially at the tender age of 6 months.